Hey everybody, welcome to Community Wax Podcast, a podcast by a bunch of nobodies interviewing somebodies so that everybody can hear their story. We believe that everybody has a story to tell, and I'm so excited to bring you today's interview with Mark Watson.
Community Wax. Community Wax.
So we're here with Mark Watson at Brushy Creek Skatepark, and Mark, you've been coming here quite a bit, huh?
Yeah. Started last July maybe,
Yeah,
but ever since then, try to come, 2 times a week, sometimes 3 times a week. So,
yeah.
uh,
Same deal.
Yeah,
Usually
love it.
guaranteed on the weekends, and then about midweek, probably getting the itch.
yeah. I was trying to do some Wednesday afternoon sessions, at least for a couple hours. Trying to get in as much skating as I possibly can.
Oh yeah. I think at our age, it's that thing. It's like you got to get it in while you can.
Yeah, that's exactly how I've been feeling. It's
Yeah.
like, how much time do I have left? I will take advantage of it. But
Yeah.
it's been so awesome, and I love this park. It's so fun.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So, I met you. I think it was last summer. Seeing you up here for some of the first times, and I remember like you pushing to make it up the Euro, and I was like, man, why is he pushing? Like, probably easier just to roll in, somewhere.
Yeah.
But I get it. Maybe that's what you grew up with. So, where are you from? Where did you grow up and start skating and all that?
Yeah, so I'm from New England. I grew up in New Hampshire. Started skating, I want to say 88, 89, around there.
Yeah.
New Hampshire is not really well known for skateboarding. So, it's funny. I actually got into it just a friend came to church with a CCS catalog.
Oh,
And I just saw the catalog and I was like, this is cool.
Oh, yeah.
I just liked looking at the boards.
yeah.
So it wasn't even like saw someone skating. I literally just saw a catalog and saw boards.
Oh
and I
my
was like,
gosh,
this
that's
is really
rad.
cool.
Yeah. Those late 80s, probably wild graphics and things. What
Yeah.
stood out? What was like your first board, or what was the one you really wanted?
I don't. My first board was a Nodus, but it was like a used board that like I didn't have a lot of money, so like my brother knew someone who had an old board, so I bought like
Yeah.
a complete Nodus for
Oh, cool.
$25. It was pretty beat up. That was my first real board. Before that, I bought like a Kmart Snoopy board.
Oh yeah.
But then I found some wheels at like a ski store.
Yep.
Some real skateboard wheels and bearings, and put those on. I don't know what they were, but I just remember they were pink.
Oh,
So I had this like Snoopy board with pink wheels. But then when I started getting into it, then I got that Nodus. I don't even remember what it looks like. I couldn't tell you what the graphic was. The
Yeah.
graphic was probably gone. The thing was
Yeah.
so beat up. But
that's sick though. I mean, still a real skateboard, right? For
Yeah.
$20 or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
So riding the Snoopy board, had you started seeing like actual skateboarders, real tricks and things like that, and that's what maybe made you want to get like let me get a real skateboard or whatever?
yeah, I mean, I had a couple of friends that I would skate with, and my timing might be off, but this is right around like Bones Brigade time.
Oh
right?
yeah.
So I remember seeing those videos like Lance Mountain, Tony Hawk, and Caballero and whatnot. And I think those really helped. We had surprisingly had a lot of friends with mini ramps.
Yeah.
Like really small, like 3 foot, 2.5 foot mini ramps.
Yeah.
That was fun. I remember learning like pre-grab airs on 2.5
Yeah.
foot mini ramp and feeling like I was awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
felt like the awesomest trick in the world. But
that's cool. I mean, New Hampshire, it's got to be a limited window to skate, right?
yeah. Yeah. So Yeah, the winters are tough. Ultimately, I got into snowboarding in the winters, but skateboarding was always my first love. So if it was dry, we were out skating.
Yeah.
You know, even if it was flat ground. A
Yeah.
lot of times it was
Oh,
flat
yeah.
ground. I mean, I didn't live in a city or a place that had a lot of cool spots, so a lot of time it was flat ground. So yeah, we'd be out there freezing our butts off. But I always loved it more than than snowboarding. Snowboarding's fun, but skateboarding is just a different thing for me.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So you got the Nodus and everything. When did when did it really kick in as far as the bug? Like, okay, I understand, what tricks are, what equipment I might need. Do you remember kind of that moment?
Well, I remember a couple of years of I moved around a lot.
Yeah.
Like in 8th and 9th grade. And that's when I was first kind of getting into it. So I skated like alone a lot, actually. And my little brother got into it a little bit. And I remember, it's funny. I was actually listening to your podcast that you did in the wood a couple of days ago. I was listening to it a couple of days ago when you were saying, you felt like you were inventing all these tricks because you'd never seen them. Yeah. And I have similar memories of like doing a pop shove it and being like, has anyone ever done this before? Or even ollieing like the tiniest gap in the world. Yeah. So I wasn't exposed to like a lot of other skaters as I was moving around. And then I ultimately in 10th grade moved to another town, and that was around 92 maybe. Yeah. Yeah, the wind's coming. And then I met a really good friend, and we just, good friendship to this day. And we just skated all the time. And that's around the time where like Plan B was going off and like virtual reality was coming out, and seeing like Jeremy Ray's part in Debbie Does Blockhead. And I don't have a great memory, so I'm trying to remember some of these parts, but like I think that's really where I was really got like super stoked on it, and I just wanted to skate all the time. After seeing those videos and the things those guys were doing was just like insane.
That's incredible, because that was a pretty escalated level, especially the jump from say like 1990 or even 91 to go into things like Jeremy Ray and, like you said, the Plan B video. And I know those videos had plenty of technical stuff going on, but they also had people doing it big. Not just flipping your board and hoping you land on it. So
and I think that's what I fell in love with. Like everything Jeremy Ray did was so huge. It just looked so awesome. And then that just made me want to do big stuff. That's like,
that's cool. I mean, I can see it too, because in the tricks that you do, you're not trying like the most technical double, triple flip or anything like that. You're doing big stuff, which is awesome. So you can tell the influence. So this is all still going on in like New Hampshire, New England area.
Yeah, still New Hampshire.
Cool.
Just skating like every night. We actually lived in a town where skateboarding was illegal. It was a lot different back then, right? No parks, whatever. So we would go out. We'd skate a lot of nights. Just find like little office buildings or wherever, little gaps or little stairs. Not a ton of stuff. Like I never grew up like doing a lot of ledges or curbs. Is a lot of flat ground gap stairs kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But I remember one night we would drive down to the bigger cities to skate. Once in a while we'd go down to Boston. It's about a 2-hour drive. It wasn't too bad, but we'd also just go to Concord, which is the capital of New Hampshire. Remember one night we were like, we're going to skate all night long. So we went down to Concord. We were just finding parking garages, and then like at 2 in the morning or something, maybe it was like 4 in the morning, we got pulled over by the cops because my friend pulled a U-turn in the middle of the street, and the cop came right by. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're just skateboarding, but we had to go to the police station, and our parents had to come down. It's like 45 minutes away and pick us up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, man.
They weren't happy. But, we weren't all we were doing was skateboarding.
Yeah.
That's what we love to do.
But you got pulled over for a U-turn.
Yeah, just for a U-turn.
Oh,
and
gosh.
then it got like in trouble because curfew or whatever.
Oh,
you know, we're
yeah.
16 years old, but we weren't partying. We weren't doing anything. We just skateboarding because that's what we did. So,
Jeez.
yeah.
Yeah. Small towns, man. I can relate, you know.
Yeah.
Well, cool. So, so I've seen, you know, you've posted like some clips from, I think, like the late 90s and things like that, 97 and whatnot. Is that all still in New England, those spots, and looks like indoor parks?
Yeah. So we had a little tiny shop that opened a park. Right around that time, 93 or something.
Oh, yeah.
So we would skate that in the winter. It was tough because it's so small, and you know it would get really, really busy.
Yeah.
But I actually rode for that shop for a little bit.
Nice.
I'm still friends with the owner. The funny thing is, even like I wouldn't see him for 5-10 years, and then I'd go back to New Hampshire, and he'd be like, "I have a board for you." I'm like 35 years old, and he's like, "Oh, I have the perfect board for you."
Nice.
And he just hooked me up with boards still. I don't even think he didn't even have the shop anymore. I don't think so.
Wow, that's a good friend.
Yeah, it was cool. So so we had this park, this indoor park. It was basically just a bank, and then a pyramid, and then a quarter on the other side.
Yeah.
You just kind of go back and forth. But it was so fun, and I loved that pyramid. That's why I like this Brushy Creek period of the it's concrete, and I'm afraid to fall on it. So did some indoor parks. But yeah, mostly that park, and then most of that footage in New Hampshire is not really great. Not a lot of great spots. Then I went off to college in New York, in upstate New York.
Yeah,
and I did a skate video for like a graphic design class that I was taking there.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the class was, but so I have some footage too there. It's on my Instagram. It's just hidden way down. I'll probably surface it here.
All right. I'll have to go like snooping on there. And
but I had my buddy that I was talking about. My buddy's name's Lars. That we grew up skateboarding. He drove out to the college for a weekend, and we did a video in a weekend.
Oh, cool!
It was really cool because I had access to like real like editing equipment for the first time. The video that I just recently posted on my Instagram, like what it took to make that video is crazy because first of all we had like a huge camcorder attached to the thing the size of a VCR.
Okay.
So then you record it, but then now you want to cut up the clips and you want to add music. So like now you're taking one VCR and recording to another VCR. And then so to put the clips together, and then you take that and then you put it into another one with the music, and it's funny. I think if you look at that clip, there's one point where you just see me like floating in air. You don't even see the beginning of the trick or the end of the trick because I just messed up the clip. But actually, I've always loved doing the editing too and making the videos.
Yeah.
It's so fun now because it's so easy.
Right.
It's like I can do like a cool little video in 15 minutes. So.
Yeah. It's amazing how far it's come. I did the same thing. 2 VCRs and cutting up the clips, and then adding music if you were able to. And that was I think that helped us become probably more creative later on, right? If you were able to do that. But so upstate New York, and then what kind of led you to this part of the country?
I ended up in Texas for work.
Okay.
So the company I worked for was acquired by a company based in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I was living in Santa Cruz at the time, actually. So
okay.
I lived in California for a couple of years, which I loved.
Yeah.
Still skating a little bit. Weather was awesome. But we were acquired by a company based in Dallas. This was like the first .com bubble, 2001 time. And
Gotcha.
then they couldn't afford to keep that office open anymore. So we could either decide to move out here to Dallas or basically leave the company. So we ended up moving out to Dallas. Was in Dallas for maybe 6 or 7 years, and then had moved down to Austin. My wife's from Houston, but loves Austin, so she always wanted to get back to Austin.
Yeah.
So we moved down to Austin in 2010, I think. So I've been here for about 12, 13 years.
Cool. So yeah, I didn't know you moved to California. Did you ever skate derby in Santa Cruz?
Oh, is that the snake run?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I actually tore my ACL there.
Oh,
Yeah. So that was my first real big bad skateboarding injury.
Man, yeah.
So I don't know if you know, Steve Caballero has a part where he all these out of the end of it
yes.
over
Yep,
this
yep.
gap, and I was trying that gap,
Okay.
and I actually found it recently too. Someone else did it recently, but so I was trying to ollie that gap, and I just landed on my knee weird and tore my
Yeah.
ACL. And I'm sure that was just years of abuse. Of,
Sure.
of just
Yeah, yeah.
ollieing stairs and whatever.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So I was around like 25 when I did that
man.
around there, and that really never fully really recovered from it. But
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun little spot. You know?
Yeah, if you say so. It was. I skated a few times. It's harder than you think. You know,
Yeah,
it looks kind of mellow or whatever, but
Yeah,
it's. I love seeing footage there. People who have it dialed. You know,
Yeah.
who can actually skate it. So
Yeah.
that's cool though. The gap wasn't there when I skated it, but when they put that gap in, I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, it's a neat addition.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. So, how much like besides the injury, did you do a lot of skateboarding in California, or was that like more focused on getting your career started?
Yeah,
and
I
stuff?
was really focused on career at that
Yeah.
point. You know, I'd probably do it every few weeks. You know, I mean, I was still skateboarding, but not too serious. And I didn't have a lot of friends or anything,
Yep.
so it was just like kind of on my own. But a new park popped up in Santa Cruz when I was there. It's pretty small, but it was fun. But yeah, I was really focused on my career. So I dropped out of college. So I was like really super nervous for the first like 5 or 6 years of my career.
Sure.
That I didn't have a degree.
Yep.
So I was like really
Oh yeah.
like going above and beyond and trying to learn as much as I could and work really hard. Yeah, really focused on that.
Yeah, I get it. And it was also probably before the big park boom. You know, like where there were 2-3 parks in just about every city, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, all that stuff. So it's not as easy to do like it is around here. You know, where there's parks like probably
Yeah.
every couple miles.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. So moved to Texas and still working, you know, getting your career going and all that. Did you skate much in Dallas or any of the other cities?
Yeah, I mean, really from like 25 to early 40s, I skated very little.
Yeah.
You know, I would say like every year on my birthday, I'd try to just go land a tray flip just to make sure I still had it,
Oh,
you know.
wow.
But, you know, I'd go like a couple times a year. And then I had my son somehow started getting into it. Like I wasn't even talking to him about it. I think he just found like clips on YouTube or
Yeah.
Instagram or something. And so he wanted to start skateboarding. So we would go to Flagool Park every once in a while. But that didn't last long. He changed his hobbies all the time.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't until about a year and a half ago where I really started getting back into it again.
Yeah. Well, it helps having a crew or friends,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like if you don't have really any friends that skate or whatever, it can be tough to get out there. And, you know, especially older guys, you know, or older skaters, you know, it's like if you're going to a park and it's all like little tiny kids, you know,
Yeah.
it can be hard
Yeah.
to be motivated. So, well, that's cool. Definitely glad that you made it here to Austin and, you know, we were able to connect with you and everything. So nowadays, like you said, skating 2-3 times a week and everything. And, you know, I think we're all kind of in that similar boat. Our bodies are just like, you know, kind of like one night of sleeping wrong from being injured, you know. But, you know, you try to be as careful as you can. Do you do any kind of stretching or anything preventive, you know, maintenance or what have you to try to stay healthy?
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, like I joined a gym and I actually lost like 35 pounds over like a year.
Wow.
So that was prior to me starting to skate again.
Yeah.
So I think that was like a really important for me to get back on the board. And then, so I still try to do that regularly. Just keep the strength up, you know?
Yeah.
I also work with a physical therapist a lot because of my knee.
Yeah.
So really, it's all about strength, like strengthening all the muscles around the knee, so you're putting less pressure on the knee. And then I don't know if you've ever seen my warm up when you come out here, but like I try to come out before everyone else. No one sees me, but I have a good 15-20 minute warm up where I do a lot of different stretches and
resistance bands and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's smart, man. It's smart. I wish I had that discipline.
I can definitely tell a difference when I do, or at least maybe it's mental. But like when I started doing it, I definitely was feeling less pain, less soreness after the session.
Yeah.
So I just kept it up.
Yeah, no, whatever works, even if it is mental, if it works for you, that's cool. I can tell the difference because I used to work out pretty regularly, just, kind of core exercises and, leg and knee, like a bunch of squats, like weighted squats and stuff like that. Just like you said, you've got to strengthen all those muscles around. Otherwise, everything's going to compensate for that, and you're going to end up, getting injured. So I'm with you. I need to get back into it. So I recommend it.
I really want to focus on that even more moving forward. Like just trying to take care of my body because I want to skate as long as I possibly can. Yeah. And I think that's going to help me skate longer and skate better. And so.
No, it's true. I mean, if you treat your body like garbage, you're not going to be able to do it very long. So, it's good to have that. Well, what else is going on, man? Anything else?
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah. Right now you're nursing an injury, so can't really skate right now. I get it. But you're still showing up at the park, man. I mean, that's, you've got the bug. I can tell. It's like, some people, they don't want anything to do with skateboarding while they're injured because it's just like it's torture. Yeah. But it's cool that you come out here and you're filming and you're motivating people and everything, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's good for me. I mean, it helps keep my spirits high, really.
Yeah.
And just over the last 9 months, whatever, just I've had such a great time with this crew.
Yeah.
They've become so important to me, and seeing y'all and hanging out with y'all, that like it's been tough not being out here. So I did wonder, like, if I come out, is it just gonna like make me more depressed? But it's been awesome. I mean, it's awesome to see everyone shredding, and for some reason I feel like everyone's getting way better right now that I'm out. No, it's kind of funny. I just see everyone killing it. You're killing it. But it's awesome to see. So
yeah, I
mean, I honestly, like, I just want to be able to ride again. So I'd love to just ride around and film. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Right now I can't even do that. That's kind of frustrating, but I go through times where I watch a lot of skateboarding and it gets me pumped, and then I go through times where I'm like, I can't watch it right now. It's just too depressing. So I want to be out there, but.
Well, like I said, it's cool, to see you out here, and you'll get through it. Just keep with the program, and get healed up. Don't try to get on the board too quickly.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I think that's what got me into this mess.
Yeah,
I don't think I really paid attention to my body. My body was telling me to slow down, and I didn't. So,
but skateboarders can be stubborn, man.
Together, made a lot of skate videos together. Drove all over New Hampshire together. So number one was him. We just spent so much time together in high school, just skating all the time. A couple other friends, sprinkled here and there that would go every once in a while. I had a good friend named Luke. Good friend named Dan. He recently passed away of cancer, unfortunately, really young, really sad. But and then also my younger brother Jesse. We grew up skating together. We kind of he probably started a couple of years after me, but he was one of those little kids that had no fear and would do anything.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So we'd pull up to a 9 stair, and like first try, he was like 11 years old, and So, we skated a lot together.
That's amazing. I never had a sibling like that. Like kind of built-in, friend, skate buddy, whatever. But yeah, that must have been cool, and you see that sometimes too, like Jeremy and Jonas Ray,
Yeah. Yeah.
other, kind of sibling, I guess, just duos coming up skating together. That's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. And he was really good. Really
Yeah.
good. I think he could have been really, really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'd say, I got sponsored by a shop maybe junior year, 93, somewhere around there, 93, 94.
Yeah.
And Jim Richardson, he owned the shop, and he had owned it for a while. And he was just such an awesome guy. And, I looking back, like I didn't really do a lot to promote the shop, but I think I was, I think it's just a nice guy. So I think that he liked that about me. Like I wasn't like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just think I just held myself well.
Yeah.
So, but he always hooked me up, and it's funny. I mean, he hooked me up through life. Like, I think I mentioned before, like even going back to New Hampshire, I'd see him. I was like in my 30s, not skating much at all. He's like, hey, he'd just be like, oh, I have the perfect deck for you. I don't even think he had a shop. I think he just had some decks. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And it's like, he always knew exactly what I liked, the right concave, the right shape. So I kind of stopped like picking out boards at some point. He'd just be like, this board's for you.
Yeah.
So he was a huge help.
Man, that's awesome. You know, like he saw the drive and the talent, obviously, and like you said, just carrying yourself well, more than likely being a positive person. And everything. So just a good role model, if you will, to others. And I think that's the kind of people that people with the means want to invest in, right?
I was telling Pat out here one day, I said, I was pretty good, but I think it was more, I was just a nice guy. I think that's what you were like.
No. Don't sell yourself short, man. I've seen your videos. You were amazing. So was the shop sponsor the only sponsor?
Yeah.
That's incredible. Cause I mean, I've seen your footage and, your videos and stuff from back then. And, especially, I mean, first of all, they hold up even today. I mean, you're doing very technical tricks. What is that stair set? Kind of at the end of that one part.
Is
that like 9 or 10?
It's about 10. I think it's 10. Yeah.
Yeah. That's, I noticed not only is it big, but it looks like before the stairs, it kind of goes a little bit downhill. And then it looks like when you land, it's not exactly flat. It's almost like it's I don't know. It looks that way. It looks like it's a really hard 10 stair.
Yeah. I don't remember it being too tough. My biggest is a 12. There's a 12 stair at my high school. I have that in one of my videos somewhere. I tried to kickflip that one day. I have some footage of that. It's really super grainy. I landed but bailed. It's one of the ones that got away. Like I would have loved to. But
make sure to upload that, man. If it's grainy or not, that's got to be rad.
I got to the point where, for some reason, kickflips felt more comfortable than ollieing, like just ollieing stairs. I don't know. When you get a trick that like you're just,
I can't relate. I cannot relate to that. They've never felt that good to me.
Yeah,
but that's awesome.
I mean, kickflips have always. That's been my love in skateboard. I love kickflips.
That's probably like Andrew Reynolds and frontside flips. Like,
exactly. Yeah, he'd probably frontside flip a set of stairs before he'd ollie.
Right. Yeah, could be. That's awesome, man. So. What's Lars up to today? Is he still skating or what?
Oh yeah, Lars never stopped.
Nice.
Yeah, it's awesome because every time I'd go back and visit, he's like, "Have you seen this video? Have you seen this video?" And I wasn't keeping up.
Yeah.
So he was kind of my only pulse on what was going on skateboarding, and I'd only see him like every 5 years or so, but he'd always bring over a ton of videos.
So he's still skating, huh?
Yeah, he's still skating, and he still does that with my younger brother because they live in the same town.
Okay.
So he's always bringing over videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was supposed to come out here in a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Because he's been seeing all my skate videos.
Yeah.
And he's like, I want to go skate with you. And
so he's still up in New England?
Yeah, he's still up in New England. Okay. And I was like, yeah, come out. And but I'm injured, so he's going to put it off. So,
that's nice.
When he comes off, so when he comes out, we can go skate. So,
well, what is this? March 10th. We're about to head into like the nicest 3 weeks in Texas, for the year. So.
And I'm not going to
sooner the better, I guess, before it gets too hot and humid. Because I don't know what an adjustment was like for you, coming from East Coast or up north, but you've lived in several different places and everything, and was acclimated in Dallas. But no, that's cool. It's good to have a crew.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
When you don't, you definitely like skateboarding it just seems way harder to do because you just don't have that little community
Oh
that
my
you're
God.
used to having,
It's so much harder. It's so much harder. And when I started back up, a year and a half ago, I go to the Flugel Park and I was just by myself, and I'd skate maybe 30, 45 minutes, and I'd get a little pumped landing a trick, like, oh, I haven't done this in a while, a little pumped, but like, there's no substitute for having your crew cheer you on.
Yeah.
Even if it's not the craziest trick in the world, they see you battle that trick, and when you land it, you get that cheer. Like, there's nothing like it. Yeah. I mean, it's so much better when you have a crew, and I love this crew out here, and that's why I'm coming out all the time, even though I can't skate.
Even when you're injured, dude, you're still here.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Well, I like to do a little thing, just kind of like some of your favorites, or maybe like top things like videos and video parts and stuff. So you can either talk about then and now or all time. But what would you put down as probably your favorite skate video right now?
My favorite video of all time is Plan B Virtual Reality.
Oh yeah.
That just came at a time where I was probably skating my best.
Yep.
And then just the step up during that time, like the early 90s, the step up from like the late 80s to the early 90s was huge.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember the late 80s, for me, I started out with like little mini ramps and pre-grabs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the 90s, and I don't know, this is just how I interpret it, how I remember it. In the 90s, the street skating just went to a whole nother level. And Plan B really, to me, took it to that level, that team. And then when they got Jeremy Ray, I was just like, I'd love Jeremy Ray. So when they got Jeremy Ray and they were on that virtual reality, and he was on that virtual reality video, man, that's probably my favorite video of all time. And I remember watching that video and landing my first hard flip right after it.
Really?
So yeah,
okay.
I never got him down. But I think it must have been in that video. I don't know, maybe not. But like I think that was the first time I saw a hard flip, and then I went and landed it, and I don't think I ever really did it again. But I was so pumped up watching that video. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite video. Of all time.
I remember that too. I remember being pumped up and also apprehensive because I was just like, whoa, like skateboarding really took a leap.
Yeah.
In talent and everything. Like it really upped its game, which is cool, So that's all time skate video, huh? And I'm gonna guess Jeremy Ray probably favorite skater.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that a little bit too. So that's awesome.
It's not even like the water tower stuff, just like everything he did was so huge and technical. Like, he was doing, switch backside heels down huge gaps.
Yeah.
When he goes to set up for a kickflip, it looks like he's going for a heel flip. And it's going to be huge. So, I just loved how big and how smooth everything he did was.
Smooth for sure. Everything was pretty clean,
Yeah.
And that was that's what I like because, like you said, we're coming out of that era where everything was like, really kind of sloppy, small wheels, all that stuff, So it was just like try 1,000 times and say that you can land the trick, know. So that was cool.
Yeah.
What about these days? Is anybody catching your eye these days that's kind of similar, with a big pop or powerful, clean skateboarding?
Well, I just watched that Luan Oliveira. Push, or was it?
Yeah.
I can't remember. That blew me away.
Right.
That blew me away. I don't know that I had seen much footage of him before.
Yeah.
But oh my God, everything he does is huge, and it's so much pop, so clean, and so technical. He's not doing. It's not just like he's ollieing big stairs or kickflipping big stairs. It's like doing insane stuff.
And he's going fast.
Fast.
He's always going fast, but he's like just so chill and in control. You'd think he was just like maybe took one push. He's doing something slow, but like he's just hauling, and he does what he does. It's sick.
Yeah, and then the other thing I think of that I really. Not a specific video, but I really love watching like just the creativity in skateboarding right now, on the street side.
Yeah,
I'm kind of sick of seeing like just tons of huge rails and stuff.
Right.
Like I'm trying to think of some skaters, but they're
Just the
it's
creative skate,
Yeah.
street.
Yeah, like
street
that
stuff,
the real 3 Seasons video. I thought was really cool.
Yeah.
The Vans video, although it wasn't like super technical, there was some cool stuff and some cool stuff down at Austin High. That stuff's been it's just really fun to watch.
Yeah. It's relatable. It's pretty raw too. There's not all like inside of a private training park or anything like that. It's out in the streets, and it's like, hey, I could, like you said, Austin High, like we could go there. Could maybe not do all the tricks, but it's like, oh, we could skate the same place.
Can't do those, but yeah.
Well, that's cool, man. I noticed you've been riding a lot of like Santa Cruz and Creature lately. Is that kind of your favorite board brand right now?
It is. I mean, just it just happened that way. When I got my first board coming back a year and a half ago, I just saw a cool looking Creature board that I thought looked cool.
Yeah.
Skated that, and then I started reading up about like the VX, the Santa Cruz VX. And
right.
I want to try that out, and I got my first VX, and I really liked that.
Yeah.
Just how thin it is, the pop. I love the pop on the VX.
Yep.
So then I just started buying like VX after VX. And then I was like, I want to try the Everslick, and I thought the Everslick was cool. And my next board is a VX Everslick, so it's both.
Nice.
Well, the best of both worlds. So.
Yeah, it's good when you find something you like, something that feels good or works for you, whether it's a shape or, a certain brand or whatever. I have the same thing, certain shapes and brands, but yeah, it's always good when you find that. I don't know about you, but it can be frustrating, like trying something different or new, and it just totally doesn't work, and everything's a struggle.
Yeah. I tried one of those Powell flight decks, and I think I just got too big of a board, but also just didn't feel as snappy, didn't slide as well. I like the Strangelove boards. The PS Sticks boards. I mean, those are nice boards. So those are kind of my backup or messing around boards. I bought this like 775 board just to play around with fun flip tricks and stuff. But, so that's pretty fun. But yeah, my everyday, I like that the VX and the Everslick, and then I got the shape that I really like right now.
Yeah,
I'm going down a little bit. I'm going to go from 8.8 to an 8.6. I'm super excited. I just set that board up a couple days ago.
Cool.
So I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's going to be a while before I can do anything on it, but I'm excited to ride it.
It'll be there waiting for you, man, when you're ready. So what about these days? You mentioned you kickflips felt really good and comfortable back then. Would you say that's kind of your favorite go-to trick these days as well?
Yeah, that and tray flips. I've really been feeling really good about the tray flips lately.
Yeah, I've noticed.
So, yeah, those are definitely like kick flips, tray flips, pop shoves. Like those are my three go-tos that I can do pretty much whenever I want.
Those are
so now just like trying to do them onto things, into things. Have a lot of ideas. But I've been being injured. I'm like, I really want to learn to do laser flips.
Wow. Yeah.
I can't even do a front side shove heel flip. So I don't know how I'll learn to do laser flips. But I'm like, there's so many things now I want to try. But I think I want to start doing some more heel stuff.
Cool. Yeah. Well, you've got time to think about it and watch videos and work it out in your head. The weather has been hit or miss lately, so it's probably the best time to not be skateboarding, if you had to pick a time of the year. So can't wait to see you back on the board this spring and summer coming up.
Yeah, me too. Can't wait.
I also want to give a huge thank you to some of the Texas skateboarding podcasts that inspired me, like The Wood and Droppin' in Texas. These podcasts are run by awesome people doing awesome things, and I encourage you to check them out. I also want to give a huge shout out to the Austin band American Sharks for letting me use their music as part of a theme song. Please go check them out, check out their music, check out their shows, everything. Help support them. They are awesome people.